Okay, so good morning class and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So before we start our lesson, may I request everyone to please stand and may I request Mr. Hasim to lead a prayer.
وقال ربكم ادعوني استجب لكم امين يا رب العالمين اللهم اني اسالك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا.
So thank you Mr. Hasim. So you may now take your seat. So class, let me check your attendance. So when you heard your name, just say present. So Mr. Hasim Khalil, Haji Khalil,
Present.
Muhammad Ali.
Present.
Okay, so class, our lesson for today is all about sociolect. But before we start to discuss, let me group you into two for our short activity. Class, lesson first, the instruction. So the group 1 will make 10 unfamiliar words, while then the group 2 will guess, supply connotative meaning of what group 1 provides. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so very good. So let's start now. Okay, so thank you class for your participation. So now let's proceed to our topic, which is sociolect. So what we by sociolect? So sociolect means social dialect. So as defined by some prominent person, just like Peter Rachel, he said that sociolect is a variety or lect which is thought of as being relating to each speaker's social background rather than geographical background. Okay, so class, meaning to say sociolect is all about social dialect. So when it comes speaking of dialect or language, so we have a different type of language or dialect, just like Irano, Maranao, Maguindanao, etc. So we all know that language is a topic that will never get boring because everyone, single one of us, speak differently. So even within a specific area, people can talk with very different ways. So we probably don't even speak the same exact way as what the people we live with. So the study of how social factors influence the way we speak is called sociolinguistics. And one of these dialect fittingly is called sociolect. Okay, so what factors make up a sociolect? So as we all know, sociolect is defined as a social group. So here are the some factors that can affect our language. First one, class, is the age. Second one is the profession. And the last one is gender. So age. So the clearest example of how age affect the language we speak is slang. Okay, so class, most of the time, majority of the young people are constantly inventing new terms and abandoning new ones, which is why nobody says glowy anymore. Okay, so class, the next factors is what we call profession. So speaking of professionalism, profession is also a factor of sociolect. So there is somewhat disheartening fact that based on the way adult life works, so they can spend more time with their co-workers than their families and friends. Okay, so class, for example, the job-specific jargon. So for instance, you work in an office, then you probably well-known or well-acquainted the phrase used by your coworkers, which might be part of your sociolect. Okay, so class, number 3 factors is what we call gender. So gender is also factors of sociolect. So you know, class, that the most popular history about the difference between women's and men's language is that women can speak more per day, can talk more per day than man, and that is true. Okay, so class, for example, one study that founded that men are more likely to use vulgar than women, and also founded that men are more likely to interrupt women and vice versa. Okay, so class, did you understand? Okay, so very good. So now, let me give you a short activity, which is group discussion. So all you can do is to answer the 2 questions. So I will group you into 3 groups. Then each of the group will select one representative to present your work. So here is the guide question. First is, what have you learned on the topic that we are already discussed? Number 2 is, you can only cite an example that sociolect can be used in society. So class, by answering the 2 questions, I will give you 5 minutes to answer these 2 questions. Then after the 5 minutes, so let us present your works. Okay, so very good. You make a good job. So a round of applause. Okay, so class, in summary or in general, sociolect is a social dialect. It is a variety which is taught as being related to each speaker's social background rather than geographical background. So some of the factors that may affect our language is first, age. Second one is profession. And the last one is the gender. Okay, so class, I think we already understand the topic that we already discussed. And now we are going to answer the 4 questions here. And for you to be guided, let me read you the instruction. First is, answer the following question comprehensively. And it must be at least 3 to 5 sentences, meaning minimum of 3 sentences and maximum of 5 sentences only per questions. So the first question is that we're going to answer is, what is the society? What is sociolect? Second one is, what are the factors that may affect your language? The third one is, what is the difference between sociolect and dialect? And the last one is, what is the importance of sociolect in our society? Okay, so I will give you class 10 minutes to answer these 4 questions, and you must start now. Okay, so class, I think time is up, so pass your paper in front. Okay, so thank you, class. So as you can see the blackboard, this is your assignment, and for you to be guided, you can only read the instruction. So the first instruction is, you can only research about further information regarding the sociolect and other factors that could affect the language. So the answer must be at least 4 to 5 paragraphs. So meaning minimum of 4 paragraphs and maximum of 5 paragraphs. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you and wassalam.